Look at that! Confirmed. SA won't be facing Trump's 31% tariff hike. I'm going to tell you two reasons why this day of Donald Trump postponing the tariff hike, the 31% tariff hike by 31%, why that's such a great day for me. The second reason that I'm going to tell you about has to do with you. So please watch it because it really means a lot to me. I'm excited because for our people who sell to the United States, I don't know how many businesses it is, and our people would have had to pay the higher tariff hike. And so since our people have 90 days not to pay the tariff hike, hopefully they'll get to figure out what to do in their business, because we care about our people when they do business in our country. So I'm excited for our people who at least have 90 days to figure it out, and hopefully it doesn't happen in the end. But to all of you, our people, no matter what you sell, whether you're in a big corporate or you're coming in through a feed, sort of a feeder scheme to a bigger company that then sells across, down to the people who get the salaries, down to the little entrepreneur who's trying to see if he can get a quick deal. Our people, we are very happy for you. If you don't know what our people has to do with, then check the video up here. Second reason why I'm so excited about this tariff pause, I'm really touched by today because we started this channel less than 30 days ago, and I am so grateful that you got us to 1,000 within, I think, 3 weeks actually. And my mission is really to empower you with information, with, news, knowledge, but also with the biblical reactions that we bring. And I want also to break the culture of black victimhood, black envy, black anger, which unfortunately has been picked up over time in our country. This channel is less than a month old. Today I was called a prostitute. I was told my shirt is horrible. There's something else. I was insulted for daring to not be stupid and ignorant. How dare you? You remember how President Zuma told us that if you black, cleverness is an insult. So I've had people insult me like that. And that doesn't really do anything to me, because first of all, I understand the brainwashing that someone's gone through to think like that. I understand how disempowered they are, that they just cannot look at me and think that what I share is what God might have put on my heart. And in their mind, one of them said, why don't you use Rob Hertzog's money to fix your shirt? Right? I feel sorry for that person to have had the ANC, MK, EFF convince them that a black person will never have an individual thought, it must be because a white guy paid them. And that a black person never does anything except for money. Now, please understand, I'm a free market guy. Everything I do is profitable. So, and no apologies about that. But I don't do it for money. I do everything with a because I want to change lives, but I do it profitably because I'm not a Marxist. And so I'm here, to really just try and make a difference in people's lives. So let me tell you where you come in. So this channel we started less than a month ago, and about 4 days ago we were on 100 subscribers. Today we've passed 1,000 subscribers. You got us to 1,000 within, I think, 3 weeks actually. So I'm here to say thank you. Thank you. Thanks so much. And I'm hoping you come with us to get to 10,000, 100,000, 1 million, 10 million. And so I wanna just today celebrate with our people who don't have to pay the tariffs yet, and celebrate with you that you helped us get to this milestone. So yeah, thank you so much. And I'm hoping that this takes us on a journey where we can be of much value to you, help you find real confidence. Also, I've been trying to give you a free novel. You can find it at the bottom there. And yeah, please get on that. And we have a book I wrote about 2 years ago, and because of all the attacks, always from black people, a lot of what black people are talking about when they talk about racism is projection of what the Marxist message has done to their own character. Because think about it, I'm not white. Why would I be called a prostitute, a bought face with no brain, no thoughts, right? And honestly, I'm not talking about it because I want you to feel sorry for me, because this is why, one of the reasons why we're doing this channel, because I feel sorry for black people. I do, because we have a history of a real injustice, but there are people who have learned how to use that history to make money off our anger, our envy, our resentment. And while that anger, envy, and resentment goes on, the same people get poorer and poorer, being promised nonsensical things of inclusive growth and all that communist stuff. Inclusive growth. It's not communist. That's me just using hyperbole. Like inclusive growth. Okay. Will anybody please tell me in the context of South Africa, so that I understand what you're saying? Can you tell me what exclusive growth is? Please, anyone who knows, just go down to the comments and just tell me what exclusive growth is, so that we understand what inclusive growth is. I suspect exclusive growth is the growth where you and I, me being a black guy, you being an Indian guy, You being a colored lady, you being a white gentleman, instead of you and I having direct contact of me adding value to you and you paying for it, or I add or you add value to me and I pay for it, or you recognize my talent, or I recognize some skill, and we realize we actually think similar and we get along with no middleman comrade, that's exclusive growth. But inclusive growth is when I'm gonna wake up and bath and go stand in a queue, and then I'm gonna stand there and fill in his forms, and I'm gonna read his document that says I'm a victim and I own business, and now I'm gonna stand there and beg it from him. For entrepreneurship, you know any successful entrepreneur that will stoop that low unless they of horrible character and they were no, no. I'm the righteousness of God in Christ Jesus, number one. Number two, I am a gift to South Africa, and so are you. You carry unique experiences, unique personalities, unique passions, unique gifts, unique abilities, and that's who pays you. Especially if you can get it to work by an attitude that says, I can get stuff done. That's how any successful entrepreneur thinks. You're telling me there's a successful entrepreneur that's going to stand in a long queue? This is the kind of garbage that has all the dynamic people who will cause other black people to look up to them and they can raise them up to leave the country or turn into crooks. Before, boy, am I talking, I was here to thank you. In the year 2000, when I started working, it was before the Marxists were able to install all of their laws, which are inclusive of comrades and transformation of comrades' lives. And all that jargon is just Marxism. And equality, blah, blah, blah. It's all Marxism. And so when I started working in the music industry, and I went from nothing, no funding, 300 rands, got to produce Mzambia Msawawa Mshoza Kelly Kumalo. Then my company went over into marketing, and then I signed Kanyimbao, Dineo Ranaka, Sonia Sidibe at that time, had contracts with all the TV shows, all the music that would play on a Sunday was my company's music, and on and on. And speaking professionally on all stages in South Africa. When I say all, I mean all, including like the big stadiums. I've stood on those stages and addressed people. Thank God for that. All of that, let me tell you one of the things that made that possible. Number one, it was before they had passed any law where I'll have to sit down on a piece of paper and sign that I'm a victim. If I had had that, just that, none of this would have happened. Number two, what I had is that in the period before apartheid ended, from 1990, there were guys like Arthur Mafokate, there were Mr. Soweto, then there was guys like Kalawa, Oscar the Big O, who came from Zim, I think, and he used to be outside of a club. And so we had those guys to look up to who had built businesses from nothing with no government intervention. And so I had those guys to look up to, which meant I was only faced with the decision of, do I accept responsibility or not? And I was like, okay, I accept responsibility. I'm going for it. So nobody had told me I'm a victim and I'm unfairly discriminated against, and it is common cause that those who are discriminated against are black people. And I'm like, but when I don't know, I don't I don't know if I've been discriminated against. I actually don't. Unfairly discriminated against. I don't remember ever being since birth. I don't. I mean, I guess is the discrimination that I grew up in Soweto or in a suburb. I don't know if that's what they mean, but what does that do? What does that have to do with whether I can build a business or not? Right, so why would I go to chief, you say chief, China, you say leadership. Why would I discuss business with that fool? What does that guy know about anything? That guy knows nothing. He watches TikTok. He's probably got a video. He understands how to dance better than he understands anything to do with what he. I'm telling the truth, man. Come on. And now, if I'm gonna do entrepreneurship, why would I? Why? So now I must go sit with that guy, chief, and then he must give me his piece of paper, and then he must play all his sneaky, cheap, kasi rubbish, and then he must ask me for a little bit on the side, and then he must transfer that. By the time that money comes, what kind of business does an idiot like that build? Of course not, man. Of course not. Anyway, so I came into the music industry. Boy, this is supposed to be a thank you video, so I'm thanking you, but I'll finish this. So I came in the industry and that was able to happen. And I'm hoping that the brainwashing that has been run in this country can be worn down by voices that keep speaking, and we can reverse the hold of Marxism and the spirits that empower Marxism, which are just envy and all that nonsense. And someone says, "Oh, you don't care about equality." Yeah, thanks for 1,000 subs. If you're asking that and you haven't subscribe. We'll talk about that in future videos. So anyway, I didn't mean to rant, but I've ranted. Hey, this was fire in my belly. So I want to thank you. Thank you for 3 weeks channel monetized. Uh, that's awesome. So anyway, after all those rants, I just want to say, no man can serve two masters. You cannot serve God and Marx, because God will say you're a new creation and Marx will say you're black, and then God will say you can do all things through Christ, and Marx will say you are an oppressed, powerless victim. And God will say you are blessed, and Marx will say don't worry about your own blessing, look at someone else's blessing and resent them and envy them for the distance. God will say, I created you in my image. You carry so much to make things happen. Marx will say, you can never make things happen unless your mommy government goes and harasses everybody and then places it in your hands. You cannot serve God and Marx. God will say he made people in his image and every individual matters. And Marx will say there are no individuals, only blacks, whites, Indians, coloreds, capitalists, working class. And then people will start speaking like, yeah, so as we know, blacks are. You don't know me. You don't know me. You don't know me. Don't speak for me. We as blacks, what we go through, you don't know me. You didn't ask me what I went through. You didn't. As blacks, you've never met my dad, you idiot. You think I was, what, I was just found at a street corner in Hillbrow. I have a father. And he told me enough who I am. Don't describe me. You don't know what my dad said about me. No, your father is whoever the Marxist leader is. See? You can't serve God and Marxism because Marxism says you have no family. Whoever is the black leader is your father. And God will say, honor your mother and father because it comes with a promise. Wow. What's happening today? This is a rant. I'm trying to close. Okay, this is a rant just to say thanks, guys. 3 weeks we got monetized together, so on to 10,000, 20,000. And so after today, because I just wanted to thank you, that's why we don't even have a biblical reaction. But yeah, this is the country we live in. And someone, might say, oh, you're just fighting a philosophical battle. No, no, no. This is about people's destinies. I want to see people reach the highest heights. That's what I'm called to do, and that's where my passion for this comes from. Number two, since I'm in this country, you stuck with me. You can insult me, say whatever you like. I'm here, so listen. This country either prospers or it'll have no peace. And I don't mean physical peace and war, but you will have no peace. You will hear my voice until you go, okay, fine, I'm not a victim. Good. What are you? I have potential. Good. But your skin is black. It's irrelevant. Now you with me. So what are you gonna do? I'm gonna go and just do the best with the potential I have and empower everyone in my circle, my community, and all of that. Good. And what about how much some white person has? It's none of my business. Good. You've lost your envy. Now you can succeed. Because now you can look at them and say, but okay, where are the gaps in what they're doing? What can I block in there? And then you go to serve. And you can charge for it. And if you follow us, I'll tell you how to sell anything and charge 10 times what the average person would with no issues. Right? But you won't learn that when you're stuck in envy and bitterness and resentment and victimhood. And so yeah. Okay. What a rant! Oh my gosh! All right, so let's make history together. Cheers! Ring ring! Subscribe and ring that bell, and we'll see you on the next video. Gosh, what a crazy event, but an honest one. Oh man. Okay. See you at the next video, guys.